Hey guys, today I've got a film review of Byzantium. Byzantium is a British film starring Gemma Arterton as Clara and Saoirse Ronan as Eleanor. They are a mother and daughter who turn out to be vampires. Although that term is never really used in the film, which I kind of liked. They're sort of more immortals, even though they do drink blood. They're both over 200 years old. They both appear to be on the run and never stay in the same place for a long period of time. And you learn why as the plot progresses, which I find quite interesting because it's been a while since I've watched something where you don't get everything straight away and then you're like, oh okay, so you're sort of just picking up bits now and then. Every now and then it flash back to 200 years beforehand, which would be quite interesting and slowly help clear things up. Their relationship is what drives the whole film really. Eleanor writes down her story of where she came from and the fact that she's 200 years old, but she never tells anybody until they arrive in this seaside town, and she tries to make connections with a local boy played by Caleb Landry Jones. It's really sweet and awkward. The sort of vampire mythology is quite interesting that they use. For instance, neither Clara nor Eleanor can enter a property unless someone invites them in, and Eleanor, with her killing as it were, she doesn't just kill anybody, just suck their blood. She goes to older people who are about to die or are very ill and waiting to die. So she is kind of like a guardian angel to them. It's beautiful cinematography in the whole film. It's, yeah, really gorgeous. The soundtrack is haunting and amazing. Sometimes they're a bit creepy, which I suppose goes with the territory of having vampires. Like I said, the relationship between Clara and Eleanor drives the whole film, and both actors are amazing, especially Gemma Arterton. I have seen her in many things, but this is probably one of my favourite things I've seen her in. She is just amazing, because all she wants to do is protect her daughter. That's all she's ever wanted to do, and sometimes she fails and then she just beats herself up about it, and she will kill and hide and lie just to protect her daughter. But at the same time, she's been doing this for 200 years, so Eleanor's getting, like I suppose any daughter would do, she's getting a bit sick of the constant being controlled and looked after. And when she does try and break away, Clara goes a little bit mad. But at the same time, it's understandable, because then as you see, as it keeps going back to 200 years in the past, you see that there is forces out to get Clara and Eleanor. But the thing is, Clara's never told Eleanor what this is, so Eleanor doesn't necessarily understand the danger that she's in when she tries to break free of Clara. But at the end, I was just like, wow. It was really cool. So just the performances of everybody was unbelievable, and yeah, Gemma Arterton especially, I could totally believe that she was a mother fighting for her daughter and would do anything for her. Byzantium is very gritty, it's dramatic, there's harsh performances, it is a bit bloody, naturally, and a bit gory. I'm sort of lost for words in a bit for how I feel about this film, because it was beautiful in a way. All the characters were amazing, not just Clara and Eleanor, because the good guys, like both of them were considered good, like the main leads. They had flaws, both of them, but also the villains of the piece, some of them were quite sympathetic in a way, especially one character played by Sam Riley. He was a villain, but he was a very complicated villain and quite sympathetic, and I was rooting for him to be a good guy. Yeah, none of these characters were black and white, and it was very interesting, and I really enjoyed it. The running time was quite long, it was almost 2 hours, and at some points I noticed this and some points I didn't, so I suppose that's probably one of the only negatives I found of it, to be honest. I think I'd probably give it 4 out of 5, purely because of the running time, and also because of there was some things which weren't quite explained as well as they could have been, I think. Like some plot points weren't taken to their full extent, but otherwise it was very clever and didn't talk down to the audience at all, and I enjoyed the way it did jump backwards and forwards between like the present day and 200 years earlier. Yeah, so really enjoyed Byzantium. I definitely recommend you go see it. Let me know if you've seen it and what you think of it and how you think it represents vampires and things like that, and I will see you next time.